Episode 5, Staying Alive.
Staying alive. Oh, yeah.
Back to McLaren now. We're really just bopping back and forth between the McLaren-Ferrari battle, the Toto and Christian Horner battle. That's really been the focus. And then, obviously, they love a Haas episode, so you're going to get Gunther.
And then dealing with oligarchs.
So this one, Ryan, starts off, again, it was some of the most extreme, ridiculous shots, right, that we finished episode 4 with Gunther Steiner holding the pickaxe, like standing on the mountain for 2 minutes. And then you open up episode 5 with Zak Brown lugging a big-ass hockey bag and hockey stick up these steps in London to go play like a pickup game.
Was that in London?
I thought it opened, this thing's opened and said London.
Okay. Interesting.
Right. And he's out there just skating around, the biggest guy out there, slipping into this huge hockey sweater and skating around with the boys. Did you see that trash garbage goal he got, Ryan, where he was just in front of the net, just like pounding at the puck, and eventually he got it in, and he goes, yeah!
Yeah, I loved it.
And then
he's a poacher.
Yeah, the Drive to Survive crew didn't do him any favors because they had to crowbar in then him like twisting around and tripping on the ice to finish the whole hockey scene.
That was funny.
And how annoying must it be? He's sitting on the bench with some other guy who's like trying to ask him questions about Formula One, and Zak Brown was like, "Yeah, man, it's gonna be tough. I don't know what to, I don't want to get into this. I'm trying to just play some hockey."
I know. I was hoping Zach would be like, "Don't ask me how it work at the rink, bro."
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out Zach's connection to hockey here. I'm on his Wikipedia page. Maybe he's from the Midwest. No, he was born in L.A. Yeah,
hockey is a weird thing for him to,
especially someone with his body.
Exactly. Like that's the activity he's doing. Sports.
Yeah, when he was walking up to the arena and I saw he was carrying regular sticks, I was like, wait, you're going to tell me that Zak Brown isn't a goalie?
Right.
Like he's actually skating the whole rink?
That's true. I mean, he'd be tough to score on. Not many, not much room to go 5-hole.
Yeah, who knew he had dangles, man?
Yeah, so that was wild to learn.
Zak Brown.
Zak Brown's a hockey guy.
Weak hockey hair, though. Very weak hockey hair.
Yeah, he really slicked it back for the hockey.
He's got to grow out some lettuce, though, some cabbage.
Yeah. So, Rye Guy, this is a lot of, we've already touched on, and the earlier episode touched on Danny Rick struggles. This is the episode builds up to and culminates with the 1-2 at Monza for McLaren.
Right. So heading into this episode, knowing what this episode was going to be about, I got to be honest, I thought it was going to be a way more fun episode than it was.
I agree.
It was way too much race recapping.
We didn't really see any shoeys. Yeah, this was almost like that full Monza race recap.
Yeah, and we got very little like behind the scenes after the victory. I was disappointed in this episode. I mean,
the only thing you got was they finished it with the tattoo that he got the Monza tattoo.
Well, I enjoyed that. We'll get into that, but let's start with Danny complaining about the DJ in the pits.
Yeah, so I think who knows about the exact timing? They make it seem like it's before qualifying or right after or before the sprint race, and he's trying to get into his car to go to whatever session, and they're playing "Staying Alive"
by the Bee Gees.
Right, and again, and that's of course the name of the episode. They're really on the nose with this one, and Danny Rick is like losing his mind about it. He's like, they should shoot this fucking DJ. Like, this is terrible. I'm trying to get in the zone, and they're playing this shit,
Yeah. He was definitely pissed.
He was pissed off. And the other thing I noticed that was interesting, Ryan, we know last season we all spotted the filthy iPad that Zak Brown was using for his Zoom meetings and stuff. I noticed in this episode, the McLaren motorhome, one of the rooms is Zach's office. They actually, instead of putting like on the window or the door or whatever,
Zak Brown, CEO.
Instead of putting Zak Brown or whatever, CEO. They put just Zach's office is actually what they wrote on the window. They had the lettering that said Zach's office, which I've never seen something like that. That's like a sign you would buy like your kid, for like their tree house.
Well, didn't we spot last year that he has some plaque on his desk that says like, "I'm the only fucker who can say fuck" or something around here?
Oh, is that? Yeah, he likes the skits and bits, but having it actually
Zach's office,
put the lettering on the frosted lettering on the glass of the motorhome that says Zak's office just seemed interesting. So, as we mentioned, a lot of this was just really deep diving into the sprint race and the race.
I meant to mention this earlier because it was in an earlier episode. Episode 2. Zak Brown gets incredibly nervous on race day. On race days in general.
Oh yeah, you can constantly see him wherever he is, like
fucking train wreck, dude. It's
mother effing and cursing about any little thing that goes wrong.
And he
from the very beginning, right? If any position is lost for either of the drivers,
can't keep his cool.
Yeah,
and that's a good thing why he's CEO and not a true team principal, because he does not have the stones to be on the pit wall calling the shots.
Yeah, very emotional on the pit wall, Zak Brown.
I mean, he's a train wreck on race day. I did not see that coming.
Right, guy, we have a new contender. It's never going to be as bad as Sergio Perez's tuna pizza that we got into. What was it? Tuna and onion. And
it was terrible.
Yeah. But after Danny Rick moves up the ladder in the sprint race to be second, starting on the front row for the race.
He says, I'm going to eat a fuck ton of pizza.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. I'm going to eat a fuck ton of pizza. They go out. Obviously, Ryan, we're eagle-eyed waiting to see what sort of pizza they're going with.
Right.
They got like a zucchini pizza, like huge strips of sliced, like mandolin sliced zucchini on it.
I thought it actually looked pretty good. It looked like it had olive oil drizzle, white-based sauce.
I'm sure it's like I said, not as bad as the tuna, but it's
probably
very
really
tough when you put big veggies and veggies like that, because you risk getting real watery,
That's true.
So
maybe they're smart.
Just saying, I wouldn't be ordering the zucchini pizza.
Maybe they throw it on after the bake.
I would hope so, or they just do like a little flash broil to the zucchini.
Look, it's Daniel Ricciardo. He's half Italian. He knows what he's doing with the za.
Yeah.
That actually, you remind me now. When I was in Canada for the race in 2019, some of the other fans that we ran into and were talking to said that they were at an Italian restaurant in town the night before, and Danny Rick showed up. Danny's all about just eating Italian while he's out.
Don't you get the feeling just from what we've seen? Like, we had listeners who saw him at barbecue joints in Austin after the race. We've seen
Jenny
famously. We've seen famously, where he goes to bars in Austin and stuff like that after.
Yep.
The story you're mentioning in Canada, multiple times on Drive to Survive, where he's going out, right? Like, I don't think a lot of those other drivers during the season or on race weekends are really going out into town and hitting up a pizza joint or you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he has to be one of, if not the only driver that would do that kind of thing on a race weekend.
I would say the two most outgoing drivers are him and Pierre Gasly. I've seen a lot of pictures and stuff on social media where someone's like, hey, I just ran into Pierre Gasly at the Chainsmokers show, and he's just like in the general admission area.
Right.
I would say those two guys are the most outgoing publicly.
Yeah, I can see that.
The least outgoing publicly, the clear number one, Lewis Hamilton. Dude's extremely private.
Yeah.
And then Vettel. Yeah. So those two guys.
Vettel doesn't have time to go out. He's cleaning garbage in the grandstands and building bee hotels, at the local school.
Yeah, but so it's just interesting to see how they operate differently, all of them.
And you know what? At the end of the episode, like you said, we didn't get as much of that podium celebration and the shoeys and all those things that we would have liked, but we did get some funny Andreas Seidel letting his hair down and celebrating with the team and with Danny Rick after the race, leading cheers with the whole team during the pictures. And so that was fun to see Seidel really getting pumped up, because he always seems like, as you mentioned, Zak Brown is like the emotional wreck. And then Andreas Seidel is
stoic,
like the
cold,
measured,
calculated,
the measured leader. And then he was losing his mind after the 1-2.
Yeah, I made a note of this from the actual race recap because it's funny to me. When they get on the radio, when Danny Rick's in the lead after that second pit stop, and they say, Verstappen and Hamilton are out of the race. If you're a driver, is there a better radio transmission to get than that one?
Yeah.
Verstappen and Hamilton are out.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be mind-blowing.
That's like just a gift on a platter.
Right. And remember, we laughed about this too, where it was in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix when Bottas got the message, is like, there's some stuff going on up front between Max and like another one where it's like that could be anything because we've already seen them in Monza climb up on each other and go off into the gravel. Like, imagine what's racing through Bottas's head when he had gotten that message of like, what am I going to turn the corner and see?
Right. That's after a season of seeing Hamilton wreck Max in Silverstone and then Max's car laying on top of Hamilton in Monza. Yeah, crazy stuff. Moot, what did you think of let's go on to the tattoo now. What did you think of the tattoo shop? Because we got an exterior shot of the tattoo parlor, and I believe this was in Austin area.
Yeah, I think it was based on just the fact that Danny Rick was wearing like a cowboy hat.
And I remember Zach was showing off his tattoo all over the paddock.
Yeah, I think I remember the timing being right around the racing coda. Yeah, I mean, it's what
it looked like
a lot of tattoo places are. Just
it looked like a rinky-dink shop.
Oh, yeah, just a little shop somewhere on some highway near Austin, Texas.
Near Whataburger?
Yeah, maybe they went to a Whataburger after, I would hope. Whataburger, delicious. So, yeah, I mean, fun to see that tattoo. And then they're asking him, well, what if Lando wins, what are you going to get another tattoo? Because he was like, I'm a one-and-done tattoo guy, I think. And he was like, no, I'll come up with something else for his first win. I'm not getting any more ink.
Yeah. Ink doesn't look good on him. He needs to stop at one.
Yeah. Or just go all the way and start getting barbed wire, face tattoo.
Fuck yeah.
Be a real full-on hockey guy, be a brawler, be an enforcer, get some barbed wire, get some crazy stuff on the arm.
I still can't believe he doesn't play goalie.